Hello, students. Okay, we're going to be going into week 2, and this is going to be your spelling and your grammar. So let's go ahead and go into our first slide. Okay, so the first slide, students, is introducing suffixes. Suffixes on our spelling words. There are 4 different suffixes that are going to be introduced in your spelling words this week. And again, remember, a suffix is something that's added on to a base word, okay, a base word. So suffix ance and ence are an action or a process, and they're usually a verb. Suffix ant or ent or performing an action or being in a state, such as like a noun. So those are added onto words and become nouns. So let's go into our next slide and go a little more in depth into what these 4 suffixes do to base words when you add them on, as they make them change. Okay? Okay, we're continuing with these suffixes. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with ance and ence. When added as a suffix, those words become a noun. Okay, when added as a suffix, those words become a noun. And we'll do a couple of examples for those. So remember that when they are added to a suffix, they become a noun. And again, this is an action or a process. An action or a process. So ant and ent, when they are added as a suffix to a base word, become an adjective. They become an adjective. They originally are a verb, but they become an adjective. And remember, an adjective describes a noun or a pronoun. Okay, so let's go to the next slide and go to and we're going to do a couple of examples for you. So remember, though, that the spelling of a base word can change when a suffix is added, and it can change it from a verb to an adjective. It can change it from a verb to a noun. Okay, so just remember that and keep that in mind. Let's go to the next slide and we'll do a couple of examples. Okay. Okay, students, so as I mentioned, I was going to do a couple of examples with you. So when you look at these suffixes, ance and ence, the base word, let's start off with observe. Observe. I will observe you doing your homework, or your parents observe you doing your homework. And basically what that means is it's an action. It's a verb. Now when you add ance, observance, ance, it now becomes a noun, or it's an action or a process. The observance of the Memorial Day holiday, that's an action or a process. So, which means I'm observing that holiday. Doesn't necessarily mean I'm moving. It's just a process, and it's a noun. It's being used as, it's been changed to a noun. I'm in observance of the Memorial Day holiday. Schools are closed, so that's an action or a process that happens. So let's look at the next one. ant and ent. Observe again, being used as a verb. But then we have observant, which is as an adjective, which is performing an action, to be forming an action. So he was observant of the student's actions during during the relay race. That means they were performing an action. Observant. That's to be performing an action, and it's an adjective. And remember, that means to be looking and seeing something that is being used, and it changed an adjective. Remember, it takes the place of a noun or a pronoun. So observant. He was observant to the students who are running in the relay race. Observant. We're going to be doing some more examples of using these suffixes because they are part of our spelling. So I just want you to keep that in mind. That spelling base word is going to change the suffix when it's added. When you add the suffix, it's going to change the meaning. All right, so don't fret, which means don't get, whoo, I don't know what to do. We're going to work with these, and then I just want you to get used to what it means when you add that suffix, okay? What it means when you add the suffix. All right. Perfect. I'm going to go here real quick, and I'm going to go through here. Make sure that I covered all of the information for you as far as utilizing the suffixes here. Perfect. So we're going to be working on these throughout the week. And these are going to be your spelling words. They're going to have these suffixes and ending. Okay? Excellent. Alrighty, students, I did something slightly different. Instead of putting these on a piece of paper and attaching them to an assignment, I've decided that I was going to add your spelling words to this PowerPoint. And one reason was so that I know that you're doing your spelling words, because you are going to have some work that I'm going to generate that is going to be required for you to understand the suffixes on these spelling words. So your spelling words are experience, acquaintance, disappearance, occurrence, constant, hesitant, defiance, conference, important, fragrance, intelligent, nuisance, evident, excellent, persistent, permanent, president, observant, violence, and incident. There are only 20 spelling words. I would like you to become familiar with the meaning of those spelling words, because we're going to be working with these again, as I mentioned, this week as well as next week. So become familiar with them, okay? That'd be great, students. Thank you. All right, students, so this is the last slide for spelling and grammar. We were working on these adverbs last week, and in fact you had some of these adverbs on a grammar test. So these should be fairly easy for you. We're going to be working this week and next week with comparative and superlative adverbs. Comparative compares two actions. And an example of that would be, she ran faster than Ben. She ran faster than Ben. Who ran faster than Ben? She ran faster than Ben. That's comparing two actions. Second example, I jumped higher than you. Who jumped higher? I did. Who did I jump higher than? You. Comparing two actions. Those are called comparative adverbs. Superlative adverbs are comparing more than two actions. More than two actions. One word, it changed one word there, students. Comparing more than two actions, and then it's formed by adding the suffix est. Example, Jenny finished the test fastest of all, which meant that she finished it compared to anyone else. That's it. That's a superlative. Jenny finished the test fastest of all. Not faster than, fastest of all. So if you notice a comparative, when you add the suffix, it's an ER. The suffix is an ER. So let's look at example number 2 for the superlative. Actually, that should be you arrived earliest, not your. You arrived earliest. No one else arrived earliest. You arrived earliest. And that is with the est suffix added to it. So we'll be working on these this week and next week, students. So you're going to be you're familiar with it, and you're going to really enjoy doing these. And you're going to be using these when you do your spelling. So I want you to be looking for these on your assignments. All right, excellent. Become familiar with them. Thank you.